I'm Derek Evil, and you're watching Addict MMA. Welcome back. This is Addict MMA fight predictions for UFC 113, Machida, Shogun 2. Light heavyweight belt on the line. It's going to be very exciting. I think this is the kind of fight that you know what? I think we're all willing to pay 50 bucks just to watch the one fight because it's so much anticipation for it. Because the first one, obviously, as we all know, was kind of a sham. And I don't know what the heck the judges are scoring out there, but they need to start scoring MMA and stop scoring boxing. It's two totally different sports, guys. Tighten up. Anyway. On to the first fight of the night for UFC 113. Patrick Cote is back off his injury. It's been quite a while since he fought Anderson Silva for the middleweight belt, and then had to quit the fight because his knee blew out after he landed wrong for throwing a kick. He's taking on very active, very competitive Alan Belcher. I don't really know how this fight's going to play out for Patrick Cote. Obviously, he's ready to come back, but man, Alan Belcher is not an easy opponent to come back after taking that long of a layoff. And, you know, Alan Belcher is hungry, and he wants victories, and he wants to beat people down. His most recent victory over Wilson Govea was quite a great victory, ground and pound, strikes. It was very good. Belcher, he's got a Muay Thai base, he's brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's very active, like I said. So in this fight, I kind of, I hate to kind of squash Cote's abilities, but I just kind of feel like, he's a boxer more so. I mean, he got into the Canadian military, went into boxing, and then picked up on kickboxing and wrestling as a back base. But anyway, Cote's boxing versus Belcher's Muay Thai is obviously going to be a very exciting stand-up fight. I don't see Cote getting past the second round here. I think maybe ring rust, maybe his cardio is going to play a toll. That, and then Alan Belcher has just been so steadily active here in the last few months that I kind of see, Alan Belcher really just getting at it and taking a victory. Second round, KO, Alan Belcher. You know what? Moving on. This fight right here, oh God, this really pisses me off. Kimbo Slice takes on Matt Mitrione from the Heavyweight Ultimate Fighter show. Who cares, man? Does anybody out there give a crap about Matt Mitrione? Mitrione, if you're watching this video, which I doubt you are because hardly anybody watches these videos, Matt Mitrione, if you watch this video, I'm not going to challenge you to a fight. I'm 155 pounds of out of shape, not a fighter. But you suck, man. You were horrible on the show. You were a little puss. Turn it. The whole thing was it was ridiculous. No cardio, no ground game. You got sloppy hands. They're putting him up against Kimbo Slice, guys. What do you think? I think this is a gimme fight for Kimbo Slice. I think Dana White is a bullshitter in that, and I hate to swear on these videos because, look at my past, I hardly ever do it, but this really gets me, man. Dana White was quoted as saying that if Kimbo Slice doesn't make it past the Ultimate Fighter season, that he won't fight in the UFC. Well, he didn't. He got beat in the first fight, in the first round, against Roy Nelson. Now, Roy Nelson's obviously a great competitor, just knocked out Stefan Struve, which was amazingly awesome. But that's not the point. The point is, his first legitimate fight in the UFC came at a catchweight to a smaller guy in Houston Alexander who looked like crap, who danced 5 minutes around the octagon. They should have disqualified him for not fighting. Kimbo looked good, but he looked good against a smaller guy. Put him up against a real heavyweight, not this Mitrione crap. Mitrione shouldn't even be fighting in the UFC. It should be Kimbo Slice taking on, I don't even know who anymore, man. Big Ben Rothwell or something. Somebody with some credibility behind their name. Not Matt Mitrione. This right here is a put Kimbo on the fight card so he'll make us some money. Put him up against a pussy fat guy who's not going to do anything in this fight. He's going to run out of breath after he throws 2 punches, and Kimbo's going to walk through him so we can say, gosh, Kimbo looked amazing. No offense, Kimbo, but we all know that the street fights on the internet were against scrubs. Scrubs, dude, you might as well have been fighting guys like me, because that's what you were doing. The only guy you couldn't fight against for real in your street fights was Sean Gannon, who beat your ass and then went on to get his butt whooped in the UFC. So there you go. You have not fought anybody real in this world. Therefore, I'm going to say Kimbo Slice is going to win this fight by knockout in the first round, but it's going to suck. I don't care about it. It's not worth anything. Put Kimbo Slice up against Cain Velasquez. Put him up against Brock Lesnar. Put him up against Frank Mir. Put him up against the real heavyweights. Put him up against Nogueira. See what happens. Kimbo Slice is not a heavyweight competitor. Not in the UFC. He needs to think about dropping weight and going to 205. Dude, I'm over it. I'm done. I don't care about this fight. Kimbo Slice, first round knockout. Moving on, Sam Stout takes on Jeremy Stephens in the lightweight division. It's going to be a very exciting fight. Sam Stout, former IKF, North American kickboxing welterweight champion, and Canadian lightweight Muay Thai champion. Obviously, he's a stand-up fighter. His most notable fights come with Spencer Fisher. They have a 1-on-1 feud against each other. Very exciting fights. Both have won fights, decision over the other. Jeremy Stephens has lost us to top-level guys. So putting him up against Sam Stout. Sam Stout is a top level guy, but he's not like, he's not gatekeeper top level guy. He's getting there though. This is going to be a very exciting stand-up fight. Though Jeremy Stephens is, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and a Muay Thai base, I just totally see this fight staying on the feet. Just remember that uppercut that Jeremy Stephens can throw, knock a dude out, vicious style, sick. I'm going to give this fight to Sam Stout based on experience, based on background, based on just all of that. Just, he's going to have the edge out here. It's going to be a very exciting fight. Obviously, Jeremy Stephens is going to have the power, but I think Sam Stout's going to have the technical ability. I'm going to give this one to Sam Stout decision. Moving on to Josh Koscheck versus Simtex Paul Daly. This I'm looking forward to, man, because Koscheck wants to stay active. He wants to fight 12 times a year. That's once a month, dude, which is amazing. And to be quite honest with you, in the welterweight division, Josh Koscheck probably has the second best wrestling in the welterweight division, right next to GSP. And he's the only guy who can really compete with GSP on the ground and make it a fight on the ground. Everybody else, you see what happened. Dan Hardy, GSP, give it up to Dan Hardy for not quitting the fight and hanging in there for 5 rounds. But same with Thiago Alves. Well, let's face it, if you're going to fight GSP, you got to have a superior wrestling ability. And hey, Josh Koscheck is that guy. He lost a decision to St. Pierre, but a very good fight. But he's taking on Paul Daly, very powerful Paul Daly, purple belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's ranked number 8 by Sherdog and ranked number 5 in the welterweight division by MMA Weekly. I'm not sure how new that is, but obviously a lot of people are looking at this guy. He's top 10. He came out and stepped in for Mike Swick a few months back, taking on Martin Kampmann with a vicious knockout victory over Martin Kampmann. I didn't see that coming at all. Now they got him up against Koscheck. 2 guys with really good ground games that like to stand and bang. But of course, I'm going to have to say that in this fight, probably going to go with Paul Daly, man. I like Koscheck. I like his ability. I don't like his personality on the Ultimate Fighter Show Season 1, but like he said, I did that, guys, because I wanted to be known. If I'm not going to be the greatest fighter, at least somebody will know who I am, put my name in your household, let me be somebody. And he was smart for doing it. I'd have done the same thing if I was on the Ultimate Fighter Show, if I was a fighter, cameras in front of me, I'd have acted a fool just to get the ratings up and to get my face out there. Koscheck's a smart dude. However, that has nothing to do with the fight. He is susceptible to getting knocked out. We saw Paulo Thiago knock him out with 1, in the first round. So, Koscheck can get caught with stuff. The stand-up is not the greatest. He's still working on it. Paul Daly, stand-up, much better. I think it's going to be a vicious knockout. I see that fight ending in the first round. Paul Daly. All right, main event, Machida versus Shogun 2. Guys, I didn't even take notes on this. Is there anything that we need to say about this particular fight? Let's look at the first one. As a huge fan of Machida, if you watch my videos, you know that I am a huge mark for Machida. However, I do feel like he lost that fight against Shogun. Now, the only problem I have with this is that Machida should not have to defend his victory over Shogun. The judges made that decision. Machida did not. Machida obviously expressed that he was very disappointed in his performance. He did not like the way the fight went. And he didn't feel like he had to defend what the decision was of the judges. You guys attack the judges, don't attack Machida. But that's why he's putting his title back on the line against Shogun again, because even they know, these 2 guys know, that this fight needs to happen. I think that they're going to stop listening to their corners, because remember the first fight, the corners were telling them, hey guys, you're winning the fight, slow your pace. So each guy did that. I think Shogun's going to come out with the quickness, going to try to kill him with the kicks and the very high flying kicks, and Shogun's going to come out. You can't clinch with him. You gotta keep your distance. I think for Machida to win this fight, he really needs to take Shogun to the ground and utilize his jiu-jitsu skills. Because if we go back to the first fight and we look, it would just appear that the little bit of flurries that Shogun had, Machida had, looked very well. And honest to God, I think that's why the judges scored that first fight for Machida. Shogun spent the whole time kicking him in the legs, mostly in the ribs, really messed him up. I saw the fight. He really messed Machida's legs and ribs up, but he didn't fight like he was trying to finish the fight. He fought like he was trying to take the guy's leg off, which is not trying to finish a fight. Whereas Machida, every time Machida came in, he was flurrying, he was trying to do stuff, clinched knees, that was trying to finish the fight. So I can kind of see where the judges screwed up on that one. I definitely see probably Shogun winning this fight. As much as I hate to say it, I think Shogun's going to come out with a fury like we've never seen him before. Well, maybe kind of like when he fought Quentin Jackson back at Pride, and he just utterly decimated him. That could be what we see against Machida. However, I think Machida is too good to let that kind of thing happen. Third round, I see TKO for Shogun happening. I am pulling for Machida though, and if Machida wins, I see it being a decision victory. I don't know that he can actually finish Shogun. It would take a lot to finish Shogun, and like I said, I think he's going to need to utilize his jiu-jitsu in order to do that. So that was it, man. UFC 113 fight predictions. I'm Derek Evil. This is Addict MMA. Peace. I'm out of here.